Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the best Forex New York session in the world there today. Looks like GJ didn't really break out.
Hey, this is Rob Booker.
These
Interrupting.
were the levels. These are the levels I had since last night, and GPJPY is still stuck within the same area here. It didn't really break out. Was really looking for price to break above 138.770 or 780 for price to continue up towards 139 and 139 100, but so far we didn't really have those breaks. So it'll be a little bit of waiting over here. Let's take a look at Euro JPY. Euro JPY price trending up during the Asian London session. 30-minute candle. Yeah, if it closes bullish, I think it's going to be a pretty good idea for price to continue moving up. It's pretty good. I'm looking at GPJPY here. Hey, could you please help me with this analysis? I got stopped out in London session. Ooh, interesting. Gold is back bullish, approaching 1950. Sorry, gold is approaching this area again. Let's take a look at our pre-markets here. So we go to pre-markets. I guess this is it. Let's take a look at pre-market. Pre-markets are positive by 200 points. So this means that US 30 should be continuing bullish. Let's take a look. Well, there we go. It is continuing bullish. We're approaching 28,200. Looking at the 4-hour, we are back at these highs. So the last time price was at this high was back in like 11th August, and now we're back there again. Looking on the daily right now, daily still has some room to continue moving up. I guess to like 28,270, 250. But I don't trade US 30, so we'll let US 30 do what it wants to do. Let's take a look at this chart here. Let me bring my GJ up. I'm waiting for GJ to break out of that area. What's this? USD CAD. USD CAD price is closing bearish. Yep, looks good. I think your stop should be like above this 30-minute candle right over here. That would make much more sense. Because if you look at USD CAD, if someone's trying to take a sell on USD CAD, let's take a look here. So looking at the 1-hour, I guess your stop is based off the 1-hour then. Right over here above 1.31630. That should be good. So at the same time, now 15-minute candles are also ranging, right? So you'd want price to respect this area for it to continue moving bearish. Hope you had a great weekend on your new home. Thank you, man. Every day when I wake up, I tell this to my wife all the time. Every day I wake up, I feel like I'm waking up in heaven. No word of a lie. I feel like I wake up in heaven. My office is here. It's all set up, kind of like it's set up. I got a new sound bar yesterday, and man, sound bars are amazing. A new sound bar, and things are really changing up over here. Your JPY execute on this 30-minute candle. Yeah, I guess everyone has the same ideas on your JPY here. Ooh, US 30 is gonna keep on pushing here. 28,200 is right there. 28,200. I'm going to be waiting for a break on GJ. I want to see this candle break bullish. I want to see this candle close bullish so that we can continue moving up towards, at least 138,940, 138,950. That's what I want to see. So we're going to wait over here. All right, I'll be right back. Okay. Looks like GJ is trying to break up over here. What's this? Mac. Waiting for a break of this resistance. Yeah, same thing here. I guess once we start breaking up, let's take a look at 15 minutes. 15 minutes also coming up to this minor resistance here. 30 minutes is over here. I guess I'm going to wait for the 15 minute to close, or maybe wait for the high to be broken on the 30 minute and then continue with the buy. But I don't want to take an impulse entry knowing that we rejected here before. So probably going to wait for the 30 minute to close. Also you have to understand, if this opportunity was on, let's say, Thursday or Wednesday, somewhere in the middle of the week, I'd be more prone to take this trade. But since it's a Monday, and I got to be very, very careful taking a risky trade on a Monday, because having a loss on a Monday just because you took a dumb trade, it makes no sense. In my mind, it makes no sense. So I'm going to wait for the candle to close bullish with a confirmation, and then I'm going to look to take a trade. Yeah, I think that's going to be a better opportunity. It's going to be exercising some discipline there as well, so it should work out. Let's take a look at this chart here. This chart is coming in strong. Ooh, GJ buys, break, retest based on a 30 minute. You're already in this buys. Okay, makes sense. Your stop is right there. Stop is managed. It's good. That makes sense. I'm just going to wait for this 30 minute to close. Let's take a look at the Chinese indicator for some shits and giggles over here. So the pound is strong, dollar is weak, gold should continue bullish, yen is weak. I guess pound should continue moving bullish, so we're gonna keep an eye on this. USD CAD is also moving down. Wow, man. US 30 is continuing up. What was this? 25 points. Hey, morning. Could you help me with my analysis? All right, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at these analyses. This is candle close above resistance, take a buy, and stops are below the previous candle. You got stopped out here. Yeah, I guess you could have stopped. You could have closed position as this candle was breaking the low over here. But, that's for next time. What's this? Gold. Ooh, beautiful. You got these buys on gold to fill the wick and continue on towards 1952. I see that 1 hour break and retest and decided to not take it because I didn't feel comfortable. Okay, that makes sense, because if you look on the 1 hour, this 1 hour candle went above 138, let's say 800, closed back down. This 1 hour candle is at that same area. I honestly want this 1 hour candle to close bullish so I can make a decision and take a trade. Looking at the 4 hour is coming up to the same area where it rejected before. You see this on the 20th August around Asian session, we rejected it. And then at around New York, we rejected this area again. So in a way, this could be like a break, retest, and continue moving down. So that's why we're looking at the smaller time frames for confirmations. If the small time frames show us that the candles are closing above this area, then there's a very high probability we're going to continue moving up to almost like, fill this wick at 19, at like 138, 940. So I want this to close bullish. A lot of people are looking at GU as well. We're going to take a look at GU here. Buy stop where price breaks previous highs, expected price to continue moving bullish. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, also if this 30-minute candle closes bullish, you can probably execute a buy there as well. But at the same time, I guess you have to keep in mind this area here to the left, right over here. That's why you would need a candle to close bullish here. So again, this it's a Monday, so I would say everyone listen, be careful. Don't overtrade on a Monday. Don't take more than 2 trades on a Monday. Just relax. I'm relaxed on Monday. You want to take trades with good confirmations on Monday. What's your sell scenario? In this case, I think my sell scenario is going to be if this candle breaks the low right over here, then I'm selling. Till let's say like 138.550. So I have the sell and bias in mind as well, and have buying bias in mind as well. So I have 2 things in mind. Hey, Raja, I've switched my watching to the 1 hour, mostly no more 15 to 30 to 5 minute. 1 hour is the place for me. Yeah. Yeah, man, like when 1 hour candles give you some good confirmations, you're like, okay, you know what? This is it. So the thing is, when you're waiting for 1 hour candles to close, that means you're exercising much more discipline, because the 1 hour candles close in an hour. So if you're just sitting ducks over there waiting for the 1 hour to close, now you're just waiting way longer for your trade to show up. When you're waiting for the 15 minute or the 5 minute to close, the thing is that on smaller time frames, you're gonna get a lot of opportunities to trade. You're going to get a lot of setups. You're going to get a lot of way that candles are going to be closing in a way where you can say, okay, I might want to take a trade. But when you're looking at the high time frames, let's say the 30 minute or the 1 hour, you will get less opportunities to take a trade, and those are going to be much stronger confirmations for you to take a trade. you know so I guess it was a good decision for me to wait for this 30-minute candle to close, because right now it's coming down, so I'm probably gonna wait for it to close and we'll see how it closes. Ooh, USD CAD is also breaking the highs on the 15-minute. I hope people who are in sells, they're managing their risk at this point and not hoping. Here to watch, no trade day for me. I'm not good on Mondays. That's perfect. Neither am I. I'm not good on Mondays either. So I just try not to be a cowboy on Monday. Hey, got stopped out in GJ. What could I have done better? I guess you could have just waited, man. That's what you could have done better. What could I have done better? What kind of statement is that? Hey, I was driving down the road. The light turned red, and I went through the light. I got in an accident. What could I have done better, bro? Please tell me. Please, what could I have done better? Maybe you could have stopped at the red light. Or maybe when the light was turning yellow, you could have just slowed down instead of speeding up. Man, I saw this accident 2 days ago, and this guy, the light turned yellow, right? Instead of slowing down, now normally you speed up, right? So there was a guy turning left, this guy's going straight, the light was turning yellow, and both guys sped up. Guy coming in sped up, and the guy turning sped up, and boom. That was nasty. Looks like you're loving your stand-up desk. Yeah, man. Stand-up desk is just great. Like, look at this. I can do like this. I can do whatever I want. Standing desk, you get so much space on the surface here as well. What I'm looking to get are like monitor arms. Monitor arms, so my monitors go up, and then I have even more space on the desk. US 30 is going to continue moving bullish over here. Pre-markets were positive, so it made sense for US 30 to continue up. The thing about pairs like US 30, GPJPY, the main thing about these pairs is that sometimes, well, I would say like most times, they don't really do retests. They don't do retests. They continue in that bullish momentum or that bearish momentum. They rarely do retests. So you got to be okay with that. I had a guy yesterday, so we were talking about how he chose GJ as a pair to trade, and he was saying that, hey, listen, man, like I'm trying to trade GJ, I'm trying to look for GJ to do some sort of like a retest, look for like confirmations, but it's not giving me those confirmations. And I'm like, that's how GJ moves. You have to be comfortable with the fact that, okay, at times a very volatile pair like GPJPY, someone trades USD your JPY sometimes, US 30, gold, they don't do retests. So you have to look for opportunities that, okay, if a pair is not going to do a retest, how will I be able to execute in that position? Or how will I be able to, enter that trade as it's moving without a retest? So when you start looking at those things, you start making things, well, you start to make sense of certain things, just like right over here. If this candle continues dropping down and it doesn't close in this area for it to give us a confirmation of entry, we're just going to be like, okay, you know what? It is what it is. You know, it didn't really close it because if it closes here, there's going to be high probability for price to continue down. But this candle can move straight down as well. So, you know, you got to be okay with that too when you're waiting for the candle to close. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is GU break retest. I think you need to. This is not a retest. This is a candle coming down. A retest is when you're going to see a support formed. When you see a support formed, then you say, okay, you know what? Price is retesting that area. Right now, this is a candle just coming down. Wow, look at that, man. We're rejecting that area pretty strong. Just like my suspicion. It was pretty suspicious over there. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Yeah. Now it's just garbage. Let's measure how big this range is. This is a 34, 33 pip range. We got 15 minutes left for this candle to close. So for 15 minutes, we have to just relax. Another 15 minutes of relaxation. Looks like there's not too much volume. Yeah, man, there's no volume at all. I mean, if you look at where the market opened right over here, you know. Yesterday, market opened right over here. There was no volume at all. I mean, there was volume late at night during pre-London and closer to London Open, but that was it. Nothing. Just straight up, down, up, down. You know, so if someone's trying to really force trades right now, this is going to be really hard if you start forcing trades. If that closes a strong 30-minute bearish, would you take sells within the range since the range would be wide enough? So if this 30-minute candle closes bearish, would I be taking sells? You know, I was thinking about it at first, but since it's closing in a way like this, I think I don't want to risk it. And the reason why is because whenever candles move, candles are always looking left. Candles are always looking left to see what their buddies were doing before. You know, so if this candle starts coming down, it's looking left. It's looking left at this candle, seeing that, okay, this candle rejected here, so we might want to, you know, like respect the same thing. But if it continues moving further down, it's going to look left over here. And it's going to say, well, okay, my buddy over here rejected before, so maybe we want to reject here as well. You know, so now your range becomes smaller because, you know, this is a range within a range, just like 15 pip range. And below there, you have another, like, you know, 10, 15 pip range down till over here. So there's a little bit of waiting involved here. I guess I'm going to wait for price to break out of this range. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to wait for price to break out of this range and essentially look for a trade. Look for the trade within this range or look for the trade below over here. All this area in the middle, this is going to be a no trade range for me. Yeah. This is going to be a no trade range for me. I'm going to put my hands in my pocket like this, put my hands in my pocket, and I'm just going to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to trade in this range. No, I'm not going to trade in this range. This is the wrong type of mood. This is a red mood. Red mood means bad mood, you know, so you got to trade in the green mood. Because the thing is, you always have to put yourself in the best position to win. Oh, wow, look at that USD CAD coming up over here. So you always have to put yourself in the best position to win. So if I look for a trade within this range, the probability of me winning is going to be way less than the probability of me winning if I look for a trade above this area or below this area. You know, so I'm going to put myself in a position where I have the higher probability to win. So that's why because of that, I'm going to stay away from this range over here. I'm going to wait for price to break in one way here. And let's see what happens. Thoughts on GA? I think you need to send a chart on GA so that we can see what your thoughts on GA are. Personally, I'd enter a sell in that range as we come to 7 a.m. Oh, well, that's Mac. Mac is probably going to enter a sell in this range, and we're going to see what happens. Macadonian. US, Euro, EU. Okay. If the next 30-minute candle closes below the zone, it may potentially become a bull fake out setup. Yeah, I think that's correct. Um, I also think that maybe this could be a better area here, right? Because you had this candle come all the way down straight. If this area was area of like rejection or of importance, this candle could have like kind of like struggled at this area here, but it didn't. It came down and struggled at this area here. So maybe this is going to be your area of interest here. So if I was looking at Euro USD, I'd be looking for maybe a support to be formed for price to continue up to retest this high because essentially it just created a high over here, and for a fake out, I'd look for price to come below this area for a fake out because I'd be looking at this consolidation area here. We also see GJ break out nicely and will spike back into the range. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. What do you think about MAM services? I think MAM services don't really work in the long term. There are a few algos running on traders domain. They're not like MAM services, but they're like good algos running. Some pretty decent returns. One of them is from this guy over here. His name is, it's pretty low key. Forex paid. Yeah, this guy here. He's running a pretty good algo on traders domain. I don't know the specifics of the algo, but you can probably DM him. And USD CAD coming in with that strong rejection. Damn. Looked pretty promising to continue down. I guess if you kind of like, look into it, I mean, why did it reject from here? Why didn't it continue moving down? Let's take a look at that. Ooh, maybe there were rejections here before. Yeah, I see that now. Maybe there were rejections here before, which is why it didn't really break down. Okay. After the break happens, did you take entry on the breakout candle for retest? No, there was nothing there. This stream is for nerds and geeks. I'm out. Yes. We are nerds over here. What do you think about the Forex tips? I think Forex tips is pretty good. That page is really educational. That page, Forex tips on Instagram. What's this? Bring him on Friday. How long does market fluidity DVDs take to ship to the US? There are no more DVDs. If you read the description properly, it's a digital drive. So a digital drive cannot be shipped. It's sent via email. Under the support on this range, there is another very ugly range on GJ. Yeah, there is that range, but when you look at that range below 138.430, it's basically a move coming down like 34, 32 pips. So, I mean, if we get a break below 138.400 during, New York or closer to London close, that's going to provide enough volume for price to continue pushing. So it could be something of importance. But this whole area is bad. This is a bad range to trade in. Super bad. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so what time is it? Oh, we still got 6 minutes. We've still got 6 minutes left for this candle to close. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This is GBP/NZD arrow going up. Beautiful. Just by you've drawn your zones, I would say maybe wait for price to break above this area rather than just drawing an arrow. Oh yeah, we're gonna go up because we're hitting the magical 61.8. No, you have to wait for confirmations too. You know, wait for confirmations is going to be much better. This is GJ. All right, we have. I just took this. I just took this trade. Okay, multiple candle close below 138,800. No longer creating higher highs and higher lows. So you're expecting price to continue moving bearish. Yeah, I mean, if the 1 hour candle can close bearish here, especially the 30-minute can close bearish, I think that's going to give room for the next 30-minute to continue moving bearish. But at the same time, man, I'm telling you, you got to be very careful about these areas here. You have to be very careful about these areas here. Raja, what do you think? Maybe just wait for 30-minute candle to close, right? Let's take a look here, whether we're right or wrong. I think it would be better to wait for it to close. GJ, entry at break of 15-minute. Price came up, got stopped out by a 1-minute candle and back into the range. Yeah, I guess would have been a good idea to wait for the 30-minute candle to close. Ooh, GJ. Could this be a break and retest to continue bearish for the week? You know, Charlene, I was looking at this. I was looking at this and I was looking at the same thing, because the main problem is if you look on the daily, right? This daily candle is kind of like broke below this area, and now this is the bottom on the daily range. So for price to reject this area over here, it needs to form resistance. And I mean, if the daily candle is going to continue down towards 138,100, the 4-hour needs to reject this area and then continue down to retest its low at 138,350 and then continue down towards 138,100. So I think confirmations are going to come from right here. Once we start rejecting this area and we break below, I'm going to be looking for sells once we break below 138,400. That's where I'm going to be looking for sells. Because this is still kind of like, I don't know, like, I don't really buy this idea here. If the next candle closes bullish above the previous bearish candle, yes. That would, okay, here's the thing, right? As we continue moving into time when there's going to be volume in the market, right? So if you look at the time right now, this is like almost 7 a.m. 7 a.m., then we have 8 a.m. 8 a.m. is going to have a lot of volume. So as we move into times when there's going to be volume in the market, that's the point where price is going to start breaking your zones, right? So as you move towards the New York Open, and if you see, let's say, for example, the 30-minute candles closing bullish in this area, right? And you're looking at the time, you're like, okay, we're moving towards the New York Open. There's going to be volume over here. I have candles closing bullish. So what's the probability price will continue moving bullish? You're going to be like, okay, you know what? I got my bullish confirmations and we're moving into the time where there's going to be volume in the market. So it makes sense for price to continue moving bullish at that time. You know, so if price does indeed start closing bearish on the 30-minute, on the 1 hour, and you look at the time we're moving into New York Open, then you can kind of anticipate the volume to push price in that direction. You know, so that's basically I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for price to break out of the range, and I'm also looking at the time. I'm looking at the time that, okay, we're moving towards New York Open. Maybe that's going to be the time where price may start breaking out. So for me, it's very important to just wait for that scenario. USD CAD is rejecting that area now. Maybe it can give, like, you know, whoever took sells on USD CAD, maybe it can give you a second chance in the sells. So we got 1 minute. In 1 minute, the 30-minute candle is about to close. 1 hour candle is also about to close in a minute. Yeah, the only issue I have are these rejections on the 1 hour. See, these are like a lot of rejections here. So probably gonna wait for price to break below 138,400. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a good idea, Raja. Wait for price to break below this area. Now, for me waiting, I might miss the trade too, you know, so I have to keep that in mind as well. I guess whenever you're making a decision in trading, you're kind of like accepting that price may continue moving in that way too. Like you may miss the move as well. You know, that's something I think you need to be okay with. That's why I stopped trying to buy you. It feels good to be out of the gulag. Congratulations, man. Feels like you're in civilization now. All right, we got the candle closing. The 30-minute candle closed bearish. 1 hour candle closed bearish. 4 hour candle is right over there. 15-minute candles was also closing bearish. In time. Just in time, muted myself. So yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense for price to continue moving down. So if we measure this, if someone's looking for sells here, your stops are like 12, 13 pips. Your TP is almost like the 1-to-1 risk reward. So you got a 1-to-1 risk reward. Can we enter small risk? Well, it's up to you. I'm not entering this trade. I'm gonna wait for price to break below 138,400. I'm gonna enter over there. But if someone's looking for entry, I think it makes sense. I think you should be using less risk on this trade as well. As we continue down towards this wick right over here. I agree with red zone and no trading in that zone, but just for learning, since the price reject 4-hour resistance, isn't possible that price break down the minor support at lower time frame. Yep. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So if the 4-hour is rejecting a 4-hour resistance, it makes sense for price to break the lower time frame support right over here. It makes sense. But just for me, you know, it's on a Monday. If this opportunity was on, let's say Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, I would have been executing on this opportunity because this is a riskier opportunity than something that would be easier, right? So since it's Monday, it's risky, so I'm like kind of like playing it safe. I'm gonna wait for price to break below 138,400. This could be a clean sell here. Fill the bullish wick to the left, and then next candle is clean. Sells and buys in the range can still happen if the price action is there. Yes, that's absolutely true. Could you take a look at this trade and give your opinion on a better entry? If you send it, we'll see it. If you don't send it, we can't see it. Ooh, USD CAD is also breaking down here. One question. Your support is 138,420. Shouldn't it be 138,340 where the gap started? I don't think so. Because if the gap started over here, this means price tried breaking down this support, but it couldn't break down, so it went back right inside the support. You know, it couldn't break down. And then it was respected over here at like New York session 21st August, got respected last night, got respected, you know, again after Asian Open, and then it got respected at the London Open here as well. So this is going to be a strong support. Do the candles in the range to the left concern you for selling? Yes, obviously they concern me, and obviously that's why I'm not taking a trade. I'm waiting. Just gotta wait, because you get paid to wait. Raja said he will do Magic Keys giveaway on reaching 100K subscribers. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a Magic Keys giveaway this week. How about that? We'll give away, we'll do, okay, so we'll basically do 3 giveaways. One is gonna be a Magic Key giveaway, and 2 prizes are gonna be some percentage off or some dollar off of the Magic Keys. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna think of a way to do it, and then I'm gonna post it, and then we'll let the games begin. I'm going to buy one, I'm with it. Well, Alex, yeah. Good luck to everybody. Yeah, man, it's a life changer. I mean, it's a trade changer, Magic Keys. So you see this right here, right? This is custom close button. custom close right over here. You know what this does, custom close? If let's say you're in a trade and you want to close 75% of your position, you know, on MetaTrader, you can do that on MetaTrader, no problem, but that's going to take you 4 steps. It's going to take you 4 steps to do that. Here, just one button, man. You press a button, your 75% position is closed. You press another button, your stops go to your break even instantly. You know, it's a handheld device. You can take this to the toilet. You know, if I have it in my hand right now, I can go walk to the toilet and I can just look at my phone and I can just like start executing with this, no problem. And you know, and you guys know what a hassle it is to trade on the phone, right? So we got this now. Oh, this is a white one basically. This is the only one that was made, white one that was made for me. It really works long distance. Yes, it works long distance. So you can go to your washroom and then you can play with that as well. It's wireless. Obviously, it's wireless. Why would it be wired? We're in 2021. No, what year is this? 2020. Yeah, we're in 2020. I refuse to even acknowledge this year as a year. This is not 2020. This is an interim year. This is like the year of the test. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that USD CAD coming down. My EJ trade, what could I have done better? Ooh, someone took a loss on EJ. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. I hope this chart is labeled properly. Okay, well again, oh okay, took an entry when this candle closed above resistance. Okay, price made support, got stopped out of this candle because the stop was below the low of the 30-minute candle. Okay, makes sense. I guess what you could have done at this point is you could have, oh wow, look at that thing drop. I guess at this point you could have looked at the 15 minutes. So if you look on the 30-minute, basically this candle stopped you out, which started at 6:30. So if you look at the 15-minute, yeah, I guess you could have closed 50% right over here, as this candle closed bearish. Because if this candle closed bearish, you didn't really got stopped out. So maybe you could have reduced your risk at this point, because now price is ranging on Euro JPY. We have a support down there and we have a resistance up over here, right? And if we break above this area, we have to look left. Okay, we got enough room. We got to like 125, 300. So if we measure this range, this is a 18 to 20 pip range. So yeah, I guess if you can see price break above here, you can see price coming up all the way over there. Would Magic Keys work on a virtual remote desktop on Mac? Yes, with parallels. Yeah, it can work on parallels. Actually, let's take a look over here. magickeys.trade. Let's take a look over here. Let's go to your FAQs. On Mac OS, if Windows is virtualized with Parallels Desktop or VirtualBox. There you go. There we go. Works with MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, and CTrader. Any problem you could have with this Magic Keys is all explained in FAQs. I took a loss in GJ. This is how I journaled it. All right, let's take a look here. So GJ 15-minute chart, price created support at the zone, entered on 30-minute candle close. Okay, right over here. Candle came to this price but couldn't break it because volume was low on the Monday. Closed half when this candle low was broken. Beautiful. Beautiful, Philmon. This is amazing. I mean, so you expected this candle to continue moving bullish up to this range and continue moving up. As it broke the low, you closed 50%. So that's amazing risk management. It's pretty good risk management. How much do Magic Keys cost? What's this? Banadzim Derek. I think that question, I mean, these are the kind of questions where you should not be trading, or you should not be ordering Magic Keys if you're going to ask a question like how much it costs. Because you have the website over here and you see us doing these live analysis, and then you come up with that question. Why not just go to this website and then go to the buy option and then you look at the price yourself? I mean, I think we should have a section in the Gulag for spoon feeders. We should create a different section. It's going to be the spoon feeders section. People coming. How come it does not work with Mac? It doesn't work with MacBooks because it's just MacBooks, man. I mean, the best way to fix that MacBook situation is to maybe sell the MacBook and buy two Windows computers. Keep one Windows for yourself to trade with, do whatever, and give the other Windows computer to your girlfriend or to your boyfriend or to someone, who may deserve a Windows computer. So these are your customers. I don't really care if these are my customers because I want my customers to have the best possible experience with the product. And the only people that can have the best possible experience with the product are smart people. Smart people will have an awesome experience with the product. People who can't, like read charts properly, who can't do like simple cognitive analysis properly, they will not have a good experience with the product. So that's the reason, things are the way they are. So anyway, we're looking at GJ here, and GJ looks like it's just ranging here, man. If we break above 138, 780, 800, I think it's going to be a very good idea to take buys. So I'm going to wait. I am going to wait for that to break. Do you set a mental goal in percentage to aim when the month starts? Do you think it's a good idea to have a weekly, monthly goal? I think it's a good idea to have it in the back of your mind. It's a good idea, but never be pressured to hit that goal. I know some people who are like thinking, hey, we're gonna do 10% a week. So they're kind of like pressuring themselves to do 10% a week because here's what's gonna happen: if you haven't reached 10% by Thursday, now the pressure is on for you on Friday to hit that 10%. And that's huge, man. That is huge. Sometimes what happens is that even if you're away from like 1% by reaching 10%, and you're going to chase that 1%. And if you take a loss, oh man, you are going to keep on chasing that 1% to get to 10%. And that's where you fall into over trading, over risking, and things just go bad. So, I mean, it's good to have a goal in your mind, but it's also good not to really, pressure yourself to get to that goal. For me, my goal is to win a trade every day. That's my goal. If I reach a 10% for the week, amazing. If I reach 5% a week, amazing. But my goal is to win a trade. And then if I lose a trade, my goal is to learn from that trade so that I don't make the same mistake again. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. Mantas Joncus. Mantas Joncus sent a chart in GU 30 minute. We broke above resistance. Could we see, what's this? Could we create support here and then there is possible setup for buys? Yes, I believe so. If this candle can close bullish, I think there is a possible setup for buys. Because, we're also moving into New York Open, so we can expect volume to come in New York Open and continue moving up. Where is Ted? Ted was in my pocket over here somewhere. Let me look. Oh, he's there. Remember, that is how you started, Raja, so please take it easy with your fans. Man, I started this same way with my fans, and this is the same way I am. So there's nothing changing. Okay, let's take a look at USDJPY. Ooh, USDJPY is coming down to a support. Coming down to a support to possibly break down, which means gold should continue bullish here. Looking at the 1 hour, looks like 1 hour has room to continue going up, possibly towards 1954. That's like 50 pips away. How to set this up with parallels? Oh. Best way to set it up with parallels is to buy a MacBook. No. Buy a Windows. Can you please tell me how did you set this range on GJ? I am new here. Well, you go to the 1 hour, you create a support, you create resistance, and then you have a range. And then you wait for price to break out of this range, and then you execute a trade, and you have a good day. 3,000 viewers. I remember when you didn't even have 1,000. Crazy growth. Yeah, man. I think this is all because of consistency. You know, consistently coming to the live stream for the last 2 years, every day in the morning. You know, and then like it also helps when people like the live streams, when we win a trade, when they hit that thumbs up button, which is right there, because whenever we win a trade, everyone hits the thumbs up button, and what it does is it then spreads the live stream everywhere on YouTube. You know, so more people who are looking for this kind of education, this kind of like, you know, value and information, they have access to this. So, like, you know, so much ego in you, right? Man, I have no ego, man. Just leave the live streams if you think I have ego. When analyzing on TradingView, do you take your own broker's numbers into consideration? No. So I get this question a lot where people say that, hey, our price on TradingView is different than the one on MetaTrader. You know, and the reason why that is because on MetaTrader you have spread. On TradingView you have no spread. So this is why there's a little bit of a difference there. Yeah, where's the mango juice? We ran out of mango juice yesterday. We had some guests over and we ran out of the mango juice. Hey, can magic keys be set on different accounts on the same time or only work on one account at a time? Yeah, it only works on one account at one time. It basically connects to your MetaTrader. Whatever MetaTrader you have, it connects to that and then you can execute on that. So the 30-minute candle is forming now. It's about to close in 13 minutes. We look at the 15-minute chart. 15-minute looks like honestly looks like 15-minute did like a deeper liquidity grab over here to continue moving bullish. My bias is still bullish in GJ. I mean, as long as the candles are pushing bullish, my bias is going to stay bullish in GJ. Let's take a look at this dollar index chart. So this is GU trying to head up. This is the dollar index. You have clean candles here down to this area coming down. So yeah, makes sense. Makes sense for it to continue moving bullish. Gold is also continuing to move bullish. UJ is trying to drop. Would you be concerned about the daily resistance for GJ? Possibly no, because I mean, if on the smaller time frames we break above, we have a clean range going up till this area here, 139, you know, 030. This is a 26 pip range, 25 pip range. So I think it's going to be a great move for price to continue moving bullish. Just gotta wait for this candle to close. We got like 12 minutes left. Do you ever trade volatility 75 indexes? No. Hey, I sent you an email under Gray Shimar 39. All right, yeah, we're gonna check those emails later on today. You should join copy trade so people can copy you and get commission. Imagine if 3,000 people follow you and get a lot of commission. You know, it's not about the money at the end of the day. I could start that. I could start like a copy service where I can take trades and people do the same trades and I get commissions, but that's not how we roll. I'm really against spoon feeding like that. So that's going to be, even though monetary is going to be good, but I don't know, man. Like that's a lot of responsibility. And a lot of people don't understand risk as well. So it's not going to end up well. 20 trades this month so far, but my account is stuck at break even because I make 10 pips and then lose 10 pips. See, this happens to a lot of people, okay? Someone mentioned here in the gulag that they took 20 trades and they're sitting at, Joe Camacho needs to mute himself. And they took 20 trades, they're still at break even. and they win 10 pips, they lose 10 pips, which is why they're at break even. The main reason why that's happening is because when you're losing those 10 pips, you're not looking at to see that, okay, how could you reduce your risk, or how could you reduce your loss? Because if you can reduce your loss by, like, taking off some percentage when price goes in drawdown and breaks the low or breaks the high, then automatically your winners are going to look bigger. So that's something you need to practice. Looks like gold is about to bust up over here.
Yeah, US 30 is gonna have a banner day today, it seems.
It's moving. It's breaking above the 30-minute. Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah, US 30 is gonna fly.
I was looking at this. I was looking at like 28,250 for it to continue up till.
Yeah, I have 28,200. Yeah. Long term, you can probably see 28,500.
Ooh, right up to. Yeah, it's gonna be super bullish here.
Yeah, so I think if anyone's looking at US 30, probably 9:30 today. So in 2.5 or 2 hours, I think you have a good opportunity to take advantage of US 30 for the rest of the day, capitalize on all the positive information that's being sent out right now. So there's opportunity there.
So your stops here could be below these candles here, like 28,140.
Yeah, I think what you'll find is it'll probably pop up a bit, and then around 9:30 or before 9:30, we'll have a pullback. So you'll have a second chance to get in. So I don't think anyone that's trying to trade this right now should worry too much. You'll have a second chance.
Looks like this candle is closing bullish here on GPJPY, increasing the chances of going bullish.
Gold is interesting too, man. Gold is very interesting. I don't trust it yet.
I think gold has more room to continue going up to 54.
It does. It's just a little interesting because if you look on the way the weekly candles formed last week, like, look what we're doing. That makes absolutely no sense.
Possibly liquidity wick to drop.
That's what I'm worried about. Like, I don't understand why we're going up in that structure, in that formation. It looks really, really awkward. So I'm going to wait a couple of days to see, because if we are going bullish, I mean, there's lots of room to go up. Let's put it that way. If we break above 1960, 1970, we've got a lot of room to go up. So I'm going to wait a bit. I don't trust that structure, to be honest. If we break above 1960 nice and clean, then we can go to 1980, 2000s easy. So I'm not too concerned, but it's just the way that it's setting up right now. There could be like a massive drop out of nowhere. So
yeah. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This is Euro USD 4-hour candle breaking the resistance, waiting for the 1 hour to close for a buy, because 1 hour support was made. Yep, this looks good. Looks good to continue moving bullish. I think on a 30-minute you'll get more confirmations there too. 30-minute on GJ is about to close here as well, so we got 5 minutes. Since GJ did a fake out on August 21st at NYC, doesn't need to get more confirmation today? No, not really, because when it did this fake out, there was a confirmation for price to continue moving bullish. So you can't really see this and then say, okay, we're going to do a fake out again. You know, because I mean, when price breaks above resistance after consolidating, there's a very high probability it's going to continue moving in that direction, and there's a less probability it's going to do a fake out. So are you going to execute on a higher probability, or are you going to execute on a lower probability? Executing on a lower probability is going to be thinking that price may do a fake out and you don't execute at all. Executing on a high probability would be that once the next candle breaks the highs over here, you're executing a buy. So that means you're executing on a high probability for price to continue moving bullish. No, I haven't entered a trade. I'm waiting for this candle to close. But wouldn't you consider that fake out rejection as resistance? I mean, yeah, sure, but I'm also looking at the NY open as we're approaching for that to continue pushing price through this resistance and continue on towards 139. Oh, this is dropping really hard here now, USD CAD. I meant the 810, 820 area, 810, 820 area. And yeah, I mean, if you're not comfortable taking the trade in that area, then don't take the trade. But as I mentioned, we're expecting the volume in New York session to break this area and continue moving up. Here's the thing, you know, you need to be confident in what you see. If you're not confident in what you see, you can't trade. You seriously, you cannot trade if you have zero confidence. You know, if you think price is going to go up and then you start thinking about, oh, but what if this, but what if that, but this, but like whenever you bring the word but in your analysis, now you're overthinking, you're having analysis paralysis, you're not thinking clearly, you're doubting yourself. So you can't say, well, price is going to go up, but there's this range, but there's that candle. Like those things make no sense. I mean, I don't know, man. That's just lack of confidence. So you need to have confidence in your abilities. What I'm thinking is that if this candle closes bullish, and if the next 30-minute candle breaks the high over here, considering it's made a low, I'm going to execute a buy. And I'm going to expect the volume in NY open to continue price moving bullish. What's your second pair in FX trading? I think it has to be gold. Can you take a look at this trade? Let's take a look here. This is your New Zealand clean traffic, clear resistance, candle broke above resistance. You took a buy here, close 50%. That's pretty good. You managed your risk, so that's pretty good. Some people are saying the stops are going to be big. Actually, no, because if this candle leaves the wick and the next candle breaks the high, stops are going to be below that candle, which breaks the high. So, yeah, just waiting over here. But essentially, we should be coming up towards 139 right here. So this should be the target. Go. This is my analysis for today in GPJPY. 139 is the target as we break above 138,800. Would you still take the buy trade if we close with no wick at the resistance? Well, we'll find out in a minute and a half. Have you ever traded in trading contests? No, I don't see the benefit of trading in a trading contest. I mean, what am I going to do? Trade in a trading contest to win $1,000? I can do that in one trade. Hey, I was wondering, isn't there usually a stop hunt at the bigot New York session at 8 a.m. No, not really. I mean, it depends how big the candles are for them to like kind of like retrace and do stop hunts or whatever. But I do believe we are continuing to push bullish. So I'm going to be waiting to execute on that. We got 15 seconds left for the candle to close. Gold is closing like a small bullish candle.
Well, I want to say that with GJ, we're going to our favorite number, 139.07.
Get the horns ready.
It's going to the same resistance it's gone to for the last like 10 weeks, and then it bounces around there, and then it goes up, and it goes right back down again.
No, I remember like 6-7 months ago, it was like 137.
Yes. But yeah, it's gonna be 139.070 again this week. It's gonna...
137.
Hey, I noticed that EJ moves similar to GJ. Is that an accurate statement? No, not really. Not really. I mean, GJ moves because of, the pound, and EJ moves because of the euro. The underlying currency, which is the same as the yen, which is closed in both pairs. So it's not necessary that they both move the same way. So this is what I want to see on GJ, right? Now GJ, this candle is coming down. It's coming down. So if it's going to continue moving up, it's going to create like a liquidity wick over here, right? So I want to enter as we break the highs on the 30-minute candle here, right above over here. And the stops are going to be below the wick, wherever this wick is made. It doesn't have to be bigger than 10 pips. And then I could target this area 139. Because the thing is, if I enter now, my stops are going to be below the 30-minute candle, which is going to be like, 14, 15 pips. I think that's pretty big. Ooh, look at that. GU is also creating that situation for price to continue moving bullish. I mean, technically things are on our side on GU. Let's take a look at the Chinese indicator. Chinese indicator is also kind of like, it's okay. So yeah, I guess I'm going to wait for the break here at 138.820, and then I'm going to be in the trade to continue moving bullish. So this is going to be an example of an impulse trade. Now this is where impulse trades work, because if we break this high, we got the entire range here to fill, and then we got the New York open volume coming in at 27 minutes to continue price bullish, but if we don't break this high, then it's going to be, very tricky. So we'll have to wait a little bit. A lot of times people ask questions like, oh, aren't you afraid of this? Oh, don't you think this may cause issues? Don't you think this may happen? Well, if those things do cause some sort of issues, then, if you lose the trade, then that's an opportunity for you to learn from that. That's an opportunity for you to see, okay, you know what, this caused an issue here. Maybe, next time it may not cause an issue. So you have to take the shots. I was going through a very tough time, like a year and a half ago, and that's when McGregor was fighting Mayweather, and he's like, man, you're gonna miss. I don't know who said this, but someone said this, some quote. I know the Gulag is gonna get mad at this, but there was a quote that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, Wayne Gretzky. There we go. So, if price does come to a point where you should be executing on, man, just execute. Just take that chance. Because if you lose that chance, you can learn from that chance. But if you don't take that chance, you're not going to learn from it because you weren't emotionally involved in that trade. So as it's coming down, I think it's creating a liquidity wick. Once it breaks the high over here, I'm going to execute a buy, and then potentially we can continue up towards 139. And then Ted's favorite number, 139.070.
Honestly, it's so weird. It just keeps hitting that resistance and doing stupidness around it. Good old 139.070.
Same as 135 or 137. See those numbers.
What's this? GJ, yeah, it's in the range here. Is my resistance okay? Because it's a little different from yours. Yeah, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. You know, because it's in the same vicinity. So I mean, I just have it here based on the 1 hour, and you have it based on the 30 minutes. So it's basically the same thing. What you doing? What you doing for this coming economic collapse? Nothing. Nothing. I talked to my good friends who are good with money management, and they told me, well, the one thing you can do is to collect assets, is to hoard assets. Because if shit's hit the fan, you need to have something you can trade with, you know, like land, trade land. Man, I was talking to buddy of mine. He closed a deal. He closed a $8 million deal with the Matamy Homes, and basically 8 years ago he bought this. He bought 3 acres just north of Britannia and Highway 25. He bought land over there, barren land, you know. And now the community is moving towards that area. So Matamy Homes, they bought that land from him to build homes. And I was like, man, that's pretty smart. He's like, yeah, man, like that's what the plan was. Maybe in, like, you know, 8, 9, 10 years, once population starts moving towards that area, the land value is going to go up. So, you know, that's a pretty good idea. I think that's something what I'm going to do. Just like buy acres, barren land, and wait for population to get to that point. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in 10 years? If I die, land is going to be there for my family, you know. But if I'm broke in 10 years, I'm going to have that land. If I'm rich in 10 years, well, richer, then, you know, I'll have that land. And then we can make some homes on it, make more money.
Yeah, that was always the rule of thumb I had is I don't care how big my house is, I care about how big my land is. Because I can always build another house on that piece of property, but I can't make more land.
Yeah. We we were talking about also, like, you know, how when you buy like condos and stuff. I mean, it's good to buy condos and stuff like that, but like, what if the whole building, God forbid, burns down? Where are you gonna live? You know. But if you have a home on land, and if that home burns down, man, you can set up a tent on that land and live there.
The tough thing with condos as well is the way that they're financially structured in terms of their reserve accounts, in terms of the way they do their maintenance. If you get a condo that has a very bad financial situation, in terms of collecting maintenance fees, or it has repairs needed that they're not doing, the value of that condo can decrease very, very quickly. So it's very interesting because people always say, well, condos are great investments, like, you know, to rent out and stuff like that. You have to be very careful because a lot of new condos aren't financially structured correctly in terms of, you know, they put low maintenance fees at the beginning because they want people to live there, but then every year they have to keep gradually increasing them faster, and the increase is larger. So it does make it actually not very prudent for someone to live there and pay maintenance fees, because I mean, essentially your maintenance fees cover your, you know, sort of the stuff that you should be covering as a homeowner, but the maintenance fees cover that for you as a condo owner. But then if they're mismanaged, it does hurt the value of the condo, and it does screw the actual condo owner, right? Because say, for example, you know, maintenance fees, let's just hypothetically say they're for like maintenance, like lawn care or like snow removal, things like that. If the condo board does not do its due diligence and picks the wrong people and they get screwed over, or the job isn't done properly and they have to waste more money doing it, it does affect your bottom line as a condo owner. So that's one of the drawbacks to owning a condo, is you really don't have control over how those fees are spent to a certain degree, because the board on the condo is the one that makes the decisions, and usually they act in their best interest because they're owners as well. But I mean, if you've got idiots running your condo board, you know you're obviously going to be sunk at that point. So yeah, it's just something to keep in mind when you're looking to rent a condo, is really look at the financial situation of the condo in terms of and who's running the condo board. You know, if you've got dumb people there, I would sort of stray away. And the other thing is too, from a resale standpoint, condos with higher maintenance fees sometimes don't sell as well as condos with lower maintenance fees. But I mean, it's all relative, right? So if the maintenance fees are high and the building's well kept, then it makes sense. It's when the building's not well kept and the maintenance fees are high as you have issues. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like the maintenance fees, they do go up gradually over time because they're going to make money from it back.
Yeah, but if I mean, the way that I purchase things is I always look at buying land. If I can find properties that have massive amounts of land, that's what I want. I'll pay the property tax rather than, you know, the maintenance fees on that. But there's some new properties that I'm looking at that actually have like 2-3 acre lands. So I'm going to, yeah, they're 25 minutes from where I am right now here in the city. So
yeah, it's pretty good. We're gonna build a zombie sanctuary over there.
Pretty much, yeah.
When the world goes to shit, you can just go to guys with a big amount of land and just be safe about it. Yeah, remember that movie Blind with that where they had cloth on their eyes? Oh, Bird Box. Yeah, Bird Box.
Oh, yeah.
Bird Box.
Clothes.
Well, yeah, they got cloth.
Instead of saying blindfolded, they say
Blindfold.
clothes. Clothes. I'm like somebody wearing clothes on their eyes.
Language barrier, man. Yeah, the movie Bird Box. You know, they had this whole sanctuary. This rich dude buys a lot of land, and you know.
Yeah, I was dead.
Raja, your computer screen is 24 inch? No, I got 32 inch. So I got a 32 inch right over there. That's not working right now. Actually, you know what? When I bought my 4K, I wanted to have 3 screens. But since I got 4K, I realized I don't need a third screen because the resolution is so massive on this thing. Alright, let's take a look at this GJ idea someone sent. So far, the 30-minute candle didn't really break the high over there, so there was no trade. It's just retracing, and it is what it is, you know. We're just kind of waiting over here. Well, I'm just waiting over here. Ooh, wrong chart. Wrong chart coming from the gulag. Can you explain your top-down analysis? Yeah, basically we're just ranging on the 4 hour. If you look on the 4 hour, 4 hour had a support here made on the 17th August, again on the 20th August. We're approaching that area here as resistance. Now based on the 4 hour, we broke down and we're sort of doing like a retest to continue down. That's why we're taking a look on the smaller time frames, right? Because if we can see rejections on the smaller time frames, like the 1 hour and 30 minute, that would make sense for it to continue down. And then you can look at the 4 hour and say, okay, yeah, you know what, we're doing a break and retest to continue down. And then you can say, okay, yeah, the daily is just creating a top wick to continue down. But if on the smaller time frames we don't get that rejection at 138,800, and let's say for some reason we do start breaking the highs over here, then it's not a break and retest. Then the 4 hour candle is just going to go bullish. So there's a bit of a wait here today. There's a bit of a wait here today, Sunny boy. Hey, how are you? Good. I want to ask you if you think it's if you think is better like a buy stop at. Oh, okay, a buy stop. Yeah, that could make sense. But the thing is, I mean, I'd say market order would be much better. Market order would be much better because then where you're going to put your stop loss if you have a buy stop? What if you're outside, buy stop gets activated and you don't have a stop? So I think a market order is going to be better because if let's say for some reason, let's bring out my arrow. If we break above this high over here, then you can have a stop below this candle over here. And then you can expect the candle to continue moving bullish. That's what I'm really looking at. And now if I measure how big my stop is going to be, my stop is going to be around 10, 11 pips. Let's see this. So if I enter at 138.825, my stop is going to be like 10, 11 pips, which is perfectly fine. Because at that point, if we do break the high, that means we've created a higher low. A low is higher than this over here, and we've made a, potentially on the way to make a higher high. Say hello to all the Venezuelan people connected at this moment. ¿Cómo estás, muchachas?
Muchachas.
Muchachas. That's right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and some sexuality, but
Oh, I don't know, man. ¿Cómo estás, muchachas? Makes sense. Oh, muchachas is females. Oh.
yeah.
Muchachos. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
How can I get unrefund on a liquid? What? How can I get?
A refund on my liquidity.
How can I get unrefund on a liquidation? I don't know what that means. Can you explain how DXY affects GPB USD? Thank you. How DXY affects, to be honest, when I first started trading, I would be trading USD/JPY, and I'm not gonna lie, I'd be trading USD/JPY, and at the same time, I would be looking at the DXY as well, because in my mind, I was like, hey, listen, if DXY is the mover of USD, it makes sense to look at DXY and then look at UJ and then trade based on where it's gonna go, But then what I realized was that DXY moved on its own independent. It just moved on its own. It had a correlation with USD/JPY, but not to the fact that if you could see that the 15-minute candle on DXY is moving up, you could look at USD/JPY and see that, okay, the 15-minute candle on USD/JPY is also moving up. That's not the case. They all move completely independent of each other. On the high time frames, yes, there's a lot of correlation, but on smaller time frames, there is not that much correlation. But the overall time frames make sense. Now, if we're looking on the 30-minute here on GPJPY, we can see this candle has now created a liquidity wick, and it's about to break the high at 138.825. And if we look on the 15-minute, if the 15-minute breaks the high over here at the same area, then that's going to be a good idea to take an impulse entry and expect price to continue moving bullish. So I'm gonna get my finger ready on the trigger over here, and we're going to look towards getting a buy entry on GPJPY. I think that's going to be a very, very good trade here today. I think it's going to be a lovely, lovely day. We break up at 138.25 and we can continue moving bullish. Yes, sir. Waited a long time today.
And in gold, once it breaks down 1955.
Yeah.
That should go another maybe 1980.
I have a buy from 770, closed 50% risk at the lowest possible. Perfect. Oh, we have a buy from 770. Yeah, I think if we start breaking this area 138.825, we can have a continued move going bullish. Uh-oh, it's coming. It's coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
Hey, Raja, what are some crucial things to consider when choosing a Forex broker? I think you should maybe consider if you can get your money in and out in time. I think that's the main thing you should really look at. If you can really get your money out.
And good customer service.
And yeah, good customer service, response time, deposits and withdrawals should be Shouldn't have an issue. Oh, okay, there we go. We got an entry here at
Oh.
138, 825. Stops are below the current 30-minute candle. And yeah, I guess we're expecting price to continue on towards 139 over here.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Oh,
that's fine. So our stop is at 138, 715. 715. Beautiful. We're going to circle back to this trade in about 5 minutes. Ooh, gold is rejecting over here. Hey, you took an impulse trade. Yes, that's an impulse trade as we broke the high on the 30-minute time frame. Looks like your JPY is also trying to continue up over here. Let's take a look at GU. GU is also trying to continue pushing up over here. So we're pushing up above this area right over here. Look at 15 minutes. 15 minutes also creating this high over here. It's created this support. We're moving into NY Open here in 9 minutes. And the volume from NY Open should continue price towards, 139. Yeah, 139. I guess when we reach 139, that's where I can say Viva la chucharacha. Viva la chucha. The 1 hour candle is about to close. Isn't it better to wait for the 1 hour candle to create a lower wick to retest the minor resistance and continue bullish? Yeah, that's actually a good idea too, because then you're going to be being like a little conservative to take the trade. That's a pretty good idea too. But I'm executing based on what I planned since I came through the charts. So I'm going to basically, yeah, it is what it is. Executed based on that.
Yeah, I guess. Good morning, everybody. Let's go.
Good.
he's here.
You know who's in buys when Kerman's on the mic.
Yeah, I've been waiting for the 8 a.m. push. So,
You will get it.
yes, I hope so. Viva la cucaracha.
Cucaracha, la cucaracha, ya no puede
Puede caminar.
What is the gulag and how does it impact this entry? The gulag doesn't impact anything. The gulag impacts itself with doubt, with fear, with over trading and over risking.
Gulag affects your ability for your team to win if you don't pass the gulag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
If you die in the gulag, your team is destined to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you die twice, then that's a lot of money wasted. You gotta pay $4,500 to get you out the gulag.
Does Forex differ from fishing? Actually, it's pretty the same. It doesn't differ from fishing at all. I think it's almost the same.
Oh, there we go. Pushing. Is nice. Good talk.
How much of a delay is this channel? There's a bit of a delay. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're gonna get a 15-second delay, 10-second delay. Yeah, so there's a bit of a delay. But on Zoom, there's no delay. Is Forex different from bowling? No, not really. Actually, it is. It is. In bowling, you get unlimited balls to throw. Well, you gotta pay for those balls too. How do you like the stand-up table? It's pretty amazing. I really like it. GU is also trying to break above over here, and as GJ is also breaking above over here, I'm up at like 0.4 pips. Hey, I started joining the live since a few weeks. Would you aim for 139, 680 as its previous broken support, and it seems like a clean traffic trail at 139, 680. I think if you send a chart on that analysis, I'll be able to look at that because that is like 70, 80 pips away. Where can we adjust the setting on Magic Keys to be able to see how many pips in profit loss you are once trade is open? You can look at that. You can look at that on MT4, basically. Like where you see your trades open on the extreme right-hand side, you can right-click and choose what profit you want to see. You want to see profit in dollars or you want to see profit in points. All right, let's take a look at GJ here. What was that? 139.6. Yeah, I mean that makes sense for price to continue up. I think 139 would be a good area here, and then eventually 139.200, and then later on 139.610. If 30-minute candle closed weak bullish, are you closing 50%? Nope. No, we still got 4 minutes left for this candle to close, so probably gonna give it some time for it to do its dance, the dirty dancing. Let's see what we got over here. Ooh, we got Mac over here, we got Kerwin, we got Sacha, we got Jaden, we got Stefanos, we got a lot of people here today. We got Tony here today, we got Maharaj, Maharaj, Sony, yeah, we got JT and Forex. JT and Forex sounds like a video card name, you know, like a VGA card. I got the JT M4X, man. JT M4X.
I like this 30-minute candle.
Yeah, that's beautiful already.
Yeah,
We're
like that
taking
too.
off. We're taking off, Papo. La cucaracha, la cucaracha.
Alright, I'm gonna put Mac on mute over here.
Okay. Hey, no. Okay.
Oh, time out.
Bro, you're too extra sometimes.
That you were singing this song first, man.
Okay, let's go to the 900 level. Let's go.
Jesus, I hate it.
Well, get that horn ready.
Sheesh.
Get the horn ready.
Okay.
All right, so I'm probably going to secure 10 pips around
There we go.
138.920. Oh, coming up. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Ooh, coming up. Secured 10 pips right at this point over here.
Okay.
Secured 10 pips and putting stops at break even. That's it. That's it. I secured 10. I'm leaving the rest run.
Ooh,
If-
I'll be.
The day is done. You see how easy it is to trade? You wait, you get paid. Easy.
Easy. And anyone who caught this trade, you know, give yourself a round of applause. Let me bring everyone here on the screen here. We're moving up towards 138.927. And yeah, we won today.
Ooh, 137.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
I left the runner. So. Everybody say hi on your cameras. Hi guys.
Yeah. I think you're good until 139.
Hi guys.
All right, I'm going to mute
So-
that over here.
Hey, stop.
139, watch right around 139. And also watch as the new hour comes to a close. Or watch as this hour comes to a close. But 139, I think you'll get a little bit of a spillover in the next hour.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I have something marked 139.03. So yeah,
Yeah.
139.
Yeah, I'm at 139.07.
Beautiful. So yeah,
There.
just make sure you secure positions, put
Yeah.
stops at break even, and just let the rest run.
Stress-free trading.
Yeah, man, this was an example of stress-free trading. This was look at the time. We came through charts at 6:30. We waited for a 5-minute move. We waited like an hour and some minutes for a 5-minute move. You know, if the gulag, you caught this trade, just give a like on the stream and, you know, just fuck yeah. I'm going to need that keypad. Had to buy out. Wouldn't let me partial payment. I'm annoyed. Oh yeah, you can't do partial payment. Maybe just save the rest partial and
Hey, Kevon. Kevon is right there.
Yeah, hey Kevon, you're supposed to teach me how to set up my
oh, look at this. So I made the observation on bullish engulf candle price into so makes good for entry. Okay, you had a really good entry. I set stop loss at break even after it broke the high, but after breaking the high, it dropped to my stop loss. I got stopped out. Yeah, I mean, just after, I always put stops at break even after I secure positions. You know, so over here I secured 10 pips. I put my stops at break even. You know, if it goes more, it goes more. If it comes down to hit my stop, it comes down to hit my stop. There's nothing I can do about it.
Nice.
There's only two things that could happen with GJ right now. If this was a fake out breaking out from that previous consolidation and it's coming back to close back in range, then it's the move for the bullish bias for the rest of the day is not valid. Now the second scenario is going to be just continue moving bullish, you know, to correct all the move from the to the left, basically toward 139 900, 139 950.
I believe it's just gonna pop up to 139 and maybe push back. The way I see it on the 1 minute and the 5 minute, it's just building on support so it could continue up. And 139 is just what
We're coming up right there.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah,
coming
so,
right there.
yeah, definitely.
984.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna push back.
138, 984, 987. Come on, 139.
139.
Can we get 139? A little bit more. Ooh. Yeah, I'll take that as a win. I'll take that as TP hit. I'll take that as we reach target.
Big time.
Yeah, I think it was
Big
a
Yeah, yeah.
very,
Let's
very
close
good
it.
trade.
With 17 pips.
And it was good that you took the impulsive trade because the previous prior to the hour close was a move. Now you'll be waiting for a pullback to retest the previous resistance to enter. Then you know you may not get that pullback.
Ooh, we reached 139, man. Ooh. Everybody got scammed today. Everybody who came here got scammed today.
I closed at 139 on the dot.
139.
Right on the dot.
Scammed everybody today here. Holy.
All right, guys. Hope you like the scamming.
We got 10 people. We had 10 people saying here, mute Mac. In the gulag. I'm not making this up, man. You can go read it. It says right there. So let's look at GU. GU also moved up as we expected. Gold also moved up. Did EJ also moved up? Let's take a look here. Ooh, EJ moved a little bit, but man, this was amazing. This is going to be a pretty good highlight here today. GPG.
Bro, nobody said mute Mac. They're all saying, why are you muting Mac? You're the one starting it.
Yeah, you know, so we reached 139, get a rejection. What the time? It's like 8 a.m. today. So, you know, whoever took this trade was like, what, took like, what, 5, 6 minutes? 7 minutes total. 7 minutes. Yeah, there were no sells. I wasn't comfortable in sells, I was comfortable in buys. So as we look, these were the areas. So before we took the trade, we were looking at these areas and we were talking about how this is going to be a bad area to trade in and how this is going to be a good area to trade in. This one and this one right over here. And what do we got? We got this area right over here on the top to trade in. So if you were disciplined and you took this one trade for today, you were a good trader today. If you were not disciplined and you took 4 or 5 trades today, and at the end you missed this trade because you had no confidence to execute in this trade because of the losses you've taken, then you basically played yourself. So maybe from tomorrow you're going to come with more discipline so you can confidently execute on good trades. I think this was actually a very good example on how to execute on an impulse trade. You know, the stop loss was below the current candle. I mean, we talked about this as well, so I think it played out really, really well. I made around $152 today, so pretty good.
Gold is flying.
Oh,
So if you got in gold, you're good too.
56. Wow.
Yeah, I said it. I called that one.
Wow. This is actually coming up over here. Man, we were right on 3 pairs today, 4 pairs today. Let's take a look at this chart here. May I know why you recognize this zone? Oh, this was based on the 1 hour. This was based on the 1 hour. I mean, it's the same thing. 30 minute was right over here. Yeah, this was based on the 1 hour. This was on the 30 minute right here. So we identified that. This is almost the same. Wow, can gold rally to like 1962? A freak rally on Monday? How do I join the gulag? You are already in the gulag.
It's close to 10 pips on gold.
Nice.
Wow.
this
This candle's
5 minute candle.
65 pip 5 minute candle. Hey, my resistance was drawn slightly above, so the previous candle closed below my resistance. So in this case, yeah, I mean, that's why we have the live streams, right? So you can kind of like see, I mean, if you had a bad resistance, I think a good thing for you to do would have been to send your chart. Say like, hey, Raja, I see your chart. This is how your chart looks, but this is how my chart looks. You know, is there something I need to change or whatever? So I think next time, just send your chart through. But this is all based on where the candles were closing and where the candles were breaking the highs. Hey, I've noticed UJ and GJ move opposite most of the times. Any views, mate? No, I've never looked at UJ to see how GJ is going to move. I've never looked at if GJ is moving up, what UJ is doing. It just provides me with no benefit or information. So I've never looked at it in that sense. You still think GU is bullish for today? GU, looking at the 4 hour, I mean, I think it's rejecting this area right over here. I think you need to provide a chart to see what your analysis is, because my analysis can be completely different. I mean, to me, if I see this move, I'm like, yeah, GU was bullish, the move is done, and I'm going to call it a day. I'm actually going to call it a day after like maybe 40 minutes here, 50 minutes. Took the trade I had to take, and that's it. Ooh, someone did 1.8% today. Damn. See you tomorrow, bro. Did you size up your lot sizes? No, probably by from September I'm going to go back up to my regular lots. I really wanted to see if I can hit 10K trading under 2 lots, but it's not happening.
No?
No.
10K a month?
Yeah, on like less than 2 lots. I'm sitting at 6,000 right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah, you wouldn't be able to do it.
No.
You'd probably get to about 8,000 maybe.
Probably 8,000, yeah. So I got this week. So I do 2K this week. I'll be right back.
think the move today is going to be US 30. US 30 is going to be the move. So if you're waiting for US 30 like I am, I'm going to capitalize on that. I got some small moves off of gold. Nothing too crazy. Just 5 and 10 pips. But US 30, that's going to be your move at 9:30 Eastern. So in an hour and a half from now, when the New York stock market opens, that's going to be your big move. It's going to be US 30.
And gold?
Gold's tough. I mean, the problem with gold is I'm watching it right now, and it's really impulsive in terms of what it's doing. I had levels at 1950 and 1953, and we just broke through those. So there might be a test back at 1953 again to go further up to 1960s. But I mean, once again, I think I don't like the way the weekly candles formed on gold so far. I think it's a little premature to get total direction. So if you're good at scalping, I think you can grab between 5 and 10 pips with gold quite easily. I mean, I was able to do it in less than like a minute. The trade was essentially like 30 seconds. I was able to grab that, but that's just because I'm watching the 1 and 5 minute charts. But I think right now, from a directional standpoint with gold, we don't really have a clear bias yet, based on the way the weekly candles formed and the way the daily candles formed. To be honest, if you caught the daily bull run with the daily bullish candle, your idea would have been that last week's daily candle pulled back, and that's a zone. So if that indeed is the case on the daily for gold, you might find that we may get a pull down a little bit further tomorrow and then a push up. So ideally, I want to see one more daily candle structure on gold. And if that's the case, we've got a clean move from like, I would say 1955 all the way up to about 1980. There's a clean move there. There's a very, very strong channel to go up from 1955 to 1980. So if you're looking at gold, you still have a lot of room for it to move up. So if we do go up, I'd wait for tomorrow's daily candle to form structure. If we get a rejection again to the downside to push up, then we probably will clear all the way to 1980. It'll be a big move. I think at this point, gold is very, very difficult to see the direction. I tend to agree with a bullish structure, but I mean, once again, I would have liked to see more rejection on the weekly candle to start off today, to go up, and then that would give me a little bit more confidence that we're going to push on the weekly at that point. It's hard to sort of gauge at this point with the weekly candle. Last week was a little bit easier because we had a pull down and pull up. One can argue that we're doing like a final tap into that weekly zone. So if you drew out a weekly zone between, I would say, 1940 and 1864, if that's your weekly zone, this weekly candle's now starting to leave that zone, and you can argue that we are going up. My concern is the candle from last week still closed bearish, so we don't have really a change in direction in terms of gold. But if we are looking at the fact that that zone is being rejected, once we leave, like I said, if we get up to like 1955 and we hold, we should go up to 1980s. But once again, that rejection at the top from last week's daily candle, that's a little scary for me. So we could pull all the way up and then rip all the way back down again, just like we did here from the previous week. So just really manage your gold trades. Obviously, if you catch a move and it does start to go your direction, you can lock in profits, you can manage your stop loss, because I mean, we can technically go up to 1980. I don't disagree with that idea of going up to 1980. The question is, are we going to hold, or are we going to reject to go back down again, just like we did last week? I think that is going to be a little bit more of a question that you have at that point. So if you are trading gold and you're just trading what you see right now is a bull move up for the daily, and potentially a continuation tomorrow. Trading what you think will paralyze you right now, because that weekly candle and this week's candle, they don't make any sense. So if you trade what you see and you're just happy-go-lucky and you're not thinking about tomorrow, then taking buys are perfect. Like, you have no issues there. If you're trading what you think, you may have to wait a bit to see a more defined structure and more confirmation to say, hey, yes, we are going up, or no, we're going to reject and go down. So you have to really just manage your trade accordingly. You're either trading what you see. If you trade what you see, then you're just taking buys and you're just holding them, all the way up to like 1960s, whatever. If you're trading what you think, there's really no trade at this point, because you're concerned about the way the structure is right now. So those are your two options. US 30, like I said, I'm not looking at anything until the New York Stock Exchange open. At that point, I will probably, have a better idea of where targets are. Long term, obviously, the easiest long-term target is the top of the weekly candle based on February 23rd, which is 28,740. That's probably the easiest thing, because if you look on your weekly time frame now with US 30, you have a clear path all the way up. When you look to the left, your last candle that was in this area was back on February 23rd. So that's the easiest way to look at US 30 as a target. So those are the two ideas I'm looking for gold and US 30. Those are the only two pairs I trade. Those are the only two pairs I focus on. I don't care about anything else. There could be new currency pairs that come out. I don't care. There's old currency pairs that are out there. I don't care about either. I do not cloud my mind with other charts. It does not make sense, because I do not know the nuances of those other charts. I do not know the characteristics of those pairs. I do not know the economies of those pairs, nor do I care to learn. I care to learn what I know and expand on what I have. That's it.
Oh wow, look at you still pushing.
Yep, US 30, you have a target at 28,740. That's 600 points. I don't think it'll get there today, because I don't think there's enough of a push for the equity market to rally the US 30 indice. But looking at price action, if you think about what is happening right now, we have a bull run on US 30. Where should we top out? Probably at that level.
Wow, gold still pushing.
Yep, gold will continue. So if you're trading what you see, just keep buying. If you're trading what you think, you're sort of stuck.
Man, I should have said that pending order at 1954, like I said. And I was just concentrated on GJ. It's okay.
Yeah. If you didn't secure profits there on GJ, now you're in drawdown. Well, now you have less profits. So maybe next time secure profits.
Yeah.
This is
Secure them profits.
Euro USD 30-minute chart. Break and retest confirmation. Candle created a floor and got candle flip in my direction. Beautiful. You got the highs being formed and looking for price to continue up. I don't know what this zone is. Oh, okay, blue zone right here. Okay, yeah. I guess this is the point where you should be securing something here if you have this blue zone here. Kind of like a rejection area, sort of. Would you be cool if you could check out this Euro JPY trade? All right. Okay, bullish confirmation support formed, bought at the low, expecting a support, not breaking a strong bullish momentum, secured 50% at 10 pips, secured another 30% at 1 hour candle. Perfect. Man, this is pretty good. This is an excellent way to manage your trade. I really like this. It's very nice. Let's take a look at this chart coming in. This is Euro JPY 30-minute chart. Close above with the wick on the top. Your stop is right down over here. I guess once this candle breaks the high here, you could bring your stops down over here, but a better entry would have been an impulse entry, and that would have been as this candle was breaking the high over here. So you could have had the stop, you could have the same stop right down over here, and then you would have had like a much bigger gain. So that's something to look into. But because as price starts moving up, the chances, well, the probability of price coming down to do a retest becomes higher and higher. You know, so that's something you have to really realize. Because now in your JPY, if price is continuing to move up, you know, as high it gets, the higher chances it has then to come down to create like another support and then to continue moving up. If the stop loss is more than 15 pips, it's mean the stop was too big. Edric, for me personally, as an individual, for me, that's a big stop. You know, maybe someone out there says, oh yeah, 15 pips is nothing, you know, so it depends on that. So the question was basically why I didn't enter as this candle closed bullish, because the stop was too big. You know, stop was like 18, it was just too big. You know, so if you watch the recap here, I explained each and every scenario as it was break up, what's going to happen, what I could do, where my stop is going to be, why I'm going to take this trade, where the take profit is going to be. Everything was explained in great detail about this trade, so you'll have to watch the recap for that.
Wow, I banked, I made 500 today. That's good.
That's good. Why is GJ rejecting 139 so hard? Because the Gulag took profits at 139, which is why price is rejecting 139. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This chart is, ooh, what's this? Let's get the chats out the way. This is price coming towards resistance. Okay, you got a candle here, price broke here, entries were taken on the break of the 30-minute candle. Beautiful. This is GJ. Awesome. Awesome, man. Beautiful. Secured 50%, stops at break even. Beautiful trade. This is an example of a very well labeled chart. I really like the way this chart is labeled. And this is how you should be labeling your charts. You know, for someone to look at the chart, they can just look at your chart and read and identify what you were thinking, what you saw, where you executed, where your stops were, where your entries were. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. What if I go sell on GJ now? Well, you can do whatever you want, you know, but I think selling is going to be harder because as price came up to 139 and now it's coming back down to probably make a support and then continue moving up. But that's for you know, NYC open and all that, because my trading is done. I took one trade and that's it. Oh, let me put this up over here. This was trade one, GJ buys. GJ buys.
I think people also have to understand too how the market is moving, the dynamics of the market. At 8 a.m., we have the North American currency open. So those are all the people that have not started to work yet are all coming into work. What happens there is when we have a push, there could be a pullback as orders are being put into the market, right? Because if you understand how the market works, the market is an auction market. So this is very, very simple economics 101. It's an auction market. So price moves on the basis of supply and demand. When there's a higher demand for price, price goes up. When there's a lower demand for price, price goes down. Same thing with supply. When supply is scarce, price goes up. When supply is in flux, price goes down. So now when you see what's happening, as volumes coming into the market, the demand for price is now open. So there's more volume coming in. So there's more buyers and sellers. So that tends to push price. It makes it dip a bit to then go further up later on because of the fact that people will now stop actually entering the market and now they're going to be trading that. So you'll find that a lot of times the first hour and a half of the North American session is a little choppy because of the fact that everybody's getting in, because you have to understand, for people that are in Europe, for people that are in Asia, your days are coming, you're midday right now, your day, you know, some of the days are, you know, already over. This is just the start for the North American people. So they have the whole day to trade this market. So they're not going to top out their best position right now. That's going to come later on today. So what you're getting right now is you're getting a lot of pullback so that the market can move to a new high later on today. So you have to understand those ideas that a lot of times when you're trying to sell these little dips or these little pullbacks, that's not the actual move. The actual move comes later on in the morning. So, you know, maybe an hour from now, an hour and a half from now, that's where we actually get the real flow of the market for the rest of the day. So keep that in mind as you're trading, not to get caught, you know, in these first couple hours of the market. If you're looking for long-term trades, if you're looking for, you know, to trade with the trend, we could just be having pullbacks right now to make further highs later on today. So really manage, and this comes down to your understanding of how all the sessions correlate with each other, how the Asian session correlates with the London session, and how the London session correlates with the North American session as well. So you should be back testing this so that you start to understand how things move at different points throughout your day, whether it's you trade on an Eastern time zone, West Coast, you trade, you know, European time zone, you know, whatever your time zone is, you have to understand what's happening at particular points during your day so that you can capitalize on those opportunities.
What's this? Can you please check out this swing trade idea? Let's take a look here. Swing trade idea. Ooh, okay. We can take a buy with a stop loss below the 4-hour low as this candle closes back above this 4-hour support, secure zone, potential ultimate target. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. So I guess you're securing over here as well, since this is 139 of like a strong rejection here, and then you're securing over here. So yeah, looks good. For this, you'll need the daily candle to stay bullish, and you need price to stay above 138, you know, 750. So as long as that happens, I think you're good, because we just tapped into the first rejection area at 139, and the next one is going to be up over here and then continue on. So it's good. Wicks don't lie. Can you take a look at my chart and see if I learned anything from you? All right, prepare to get. Let's take a look here. Entry here based on 1-hour candle. Entry here. Entry was with you. Oh, beautiful. There's nothing you learned though. I mean, there's no labeling over here. There's just nothing basically. Just a 4-hour candle with profit and loss. TP is all the way up over there. Looks good, looks good. Did you use Fibonacci? Nope. How do you use Fibonacci? New to the stream, Raja, out of interest, what other pairs do you trade? I only trade GJ. I look at one trade a day, and that's about it. I take my one trade and I call it a day. Maybe two trades sometimes, but it's a Monday, you know, it's a Monday, you get your one trade, you bag your pips, you secure positions, and then you go about your day. Man, honestly, we can create like a collage of like, you know, different faces that Mac makes. You know, he does them unintentionally. Oh, man.
I know.
It's all unintentionally, you know. You can make a big collage, give him on his birthday. Sleepy face, concentration face.
And he's getting fat now.
Yeah, man.
Really, man, he's eating too much.
Corona time.
And he told me that the t-shirt was medium, but now he needs a large. Hey. What about the medium shirt?
You've definitely already been working on that collage too.
Yeah. I have a bunch of different Mac faces stored on my drive here.
No, hey, don't show those.
Gold went to 1962. I believe it has potential to move up in an hour depending on volume. Yeah, let's take a look at gold here. Gold did tap 1962.
Yep. That's why I said watch gold. It's not fun right now.
It's been doing the same for the last 3 days, to be honest.
Well, it's just because, like I said, that weekly candle doesn't give me any confidence. So, like, something like this happens, it rips down like 50 pips, and then the next hour it'll go back up like 70 and then rip down again. It's very, very hard to trade from a long-term perspective. If you're scalping on the 1 minute and 5 minute charts, it's easy because you know to get out, right? You'll see these moves happen and you'll be like, okay, I gotta exit. But if you're trading like the hour candle, like you just got whacked. Like yeah, you just got whacked because you were probably in at 1960. It flew up to 1962, and then now it's back at 1954.
Hey Raja, would you consider this 30-minute candle on GJ as a fake out? It didn't close back inside the previous range, but it's just sitting there at resistance. But would you consider that as a fake out?
No, because we broke above 138,800, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so possibly it's going to do like a support and then continue moving bullish. Unless it breaks below, this area, and then you can say, okay, this move up with a fake out.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it retraced all the way back, but it hasn't closed below the resistance.
Yes.
So it should continue going up.
Yes.
Beautiful, thank you.
Exactly.
Oh, my name shows up now.
Yeah.
That's good. Now we know who's drawing the things.
I don't have to talk anymore. This is awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
I press close full, close half, or close custom on magic keys. Nothing triggers. I think make sure your auto trading is on. Yeah, make sure your auto trading is on. It should work. All right, what else to do now?
Sing.
Man, Best Buy is getting the soundbar back in stock now.
Okay, Ted, here we go.
I'll show you.
It's like so fun. Hey, you know what, Raja? I'm gonna give you another secret. You know, you can put speakers in your ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah, I know that one. That was a lot of work, man.
But if you're gonna do it right the first time and get a Bose sound system, the home theater, and you'll be fine. You're gonna have sound for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I'm picking this one. I'm picking up this one today.
Bose is I think
That's
it's the best.
expensive. Oh, that's right. That's Canadian dollars. Yes.
Yeah, it's like 700 US.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, man. Yeah.
Bro, get this one, and then when my next withdrawal comes in, I'll get the subwoofer.
Yeah.
Crazy. Subwoofers are like $600, $700.
All right, guys, I'm heading out. Have a good day, all right?
Yep.
Take
you
care,
too.
Stephanos.
See you, man.
Will you take a look at the daily chart, please? Do you see it's a engulfing bearish candle breaking support of 139? This push-up was a retest. Yes. So if you look at the daily candle right over here. All right. So if you look on the daily candle, yeah, you're right. So this is what I was looking at yesterday when I sent my weekly breakdown on GBJPY. That for price to continue down, it needs to reject this area on a high time frame. So on daily, if this daily closes below 139, I think it's respecting this area as a potential resistance, and we may see price coming down. But that's when we look on the smaller time frames, right? Because we want to see confirmations on the smaller time frames.
I'm trying to send the money on Cash App, but these names are so complicated.
Sonos. I don't know. I like Sonos, but I think Sonos is, I don't know. I don't like Sonos at all. Sonos has built-in Alexa with them, so I don't trust Alexa. Man, they record everything.
Yeah, government's gonna be spying you.
Yeah, the KGB.
That was one of the reasons I stayed away from Alexa. But Bose, man, oof. Bose is crazy.
Bose
I mean,
is the best.
The reputation from Bose is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's incredible. It's expensive, but it's worth it.
Yeah, even in my car, I have a Bose sound system, which came with the SUV, and it's amazing.
Yeah, Cadillac brings Bose, the same as Mercedes and I think BMW.
What's the time? 8:30. It's only 8:30. Your JPY is also creating those candles to move up, but the thing is, these candle volumes are dying. You see how these candles are closing like small bullish candle? This means that the volume going up is kind of like getting smaller and smaller. A new recession is coming. Oh,
Sorry, if you're trading gold right now, I wouldn't be looking for entries for buys unless we go above this level here, and then obviously this is your target over here again. This area here is very dangerous because we could have a rejection up to here again and then a further push down. So just be aware of that. And anywhere in here, if it gets choppy, you should be exiting your trade right away, to be honest, because this technically here, from a new week standpoint, this could be a new zone where these candles here sort of push up a bit into it. So this, you might have multiple candles in this zone here, and then it just drives back down. So just be very aware. But I wouldn't. I'd be looking at buys only above this level here, and then if you're taking sells, you're waiting for rejections that look like that to go down. To be honest, this candle here, unless this wick here is the massive rejection to start the descent, once we break below here, you've got essentially clean traffic here to drop further down, and then that would give you more. I'd be more confident with a sell based on that, and then having the weekly candle go flip bearish and fill the weekly wick from last week. That would make more sense to me than what's happening right now. For us to have a bullish structure with gold, I need to see another day of bullish movement to get that confirmation that we are going up. To be honest, right now, if you get sells. Sells seem to make more sense off the higher time frame than buys do, only until we get a little bit more structure on the daily candles to cement that we are actually going up. So if you do see the drop starting, you could play off the weekly candles and say that the weekly candle tapped into the zone from last week and that we're starting to drop down. So really pay attention to that. But gold is a little too early for me to actually take confident or long-term positions.
Yeah, tomorrow we should have more confirmations on gold.
Look at it this way: if it goes down $20 today or goes up $20 today, we've got lots of room either side of the range. You got lots of room. I mean, if we drop down to 1940 today, we could drop easily to 1900 tomorrow. So I mean, I'm not too concerned either way. If we do go up, we could go up to 1980. So there's lots of room with gold. I would not be concerned if it drops $20 today or goes up $20 at all, because tomorrow will be the same thing again.
Yeah. That's a massive rejection on the 1 hour.
Yeah. Oh, we got 987 likes. Can we get it to 1,000?
No.
Okay, no.
We're gonna keep it as it is.
We're gonna keep it as is.
Don't like it, guys. Just keep it as it is. You know what that means?
Yeah,
There you go. 1K.
Max muted again.
Max
Imagine
gonna
that,
mute again.
Yee, congrats, Rakeel.
Man, I remember when Matt had a contest on YouTube. If we get like 1,200 likes,
Oh, yes,
we'll be
I
muting himself for like a week.
And I did it.
They did it.
But Mac have power to move masses, you know.
Yeah, 1.1.
Could move.
Mac reminds me of Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern show. You know, we got all the characters here on from the Howard Stern radio show, and Mac's Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. So you got 1.1K. Oh, your record.
Well, gold is seriously killing some dreams. It's killing dreams. Wow.
Ooh, wow, man. Heavy rejection over there, 1962.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of
150
pips.
pips.
Yeah.
When will you stop to do live streams for free? I don't know. They're going to be here for a while now. Besides NY session, what other times in the day do you trade GJ? Only NY session. Maybe like 10% of the time in Asian session, but that's a huge maybe. Ooh, if this candle closes back under 138.800, then this move up was a fake out. We could continue moving downtown.
Yeah.
Gold is an overall seller's market right now. Oh,
Okay.
okay. Sounds good. What do you think about the whole institutional candle thing? I have no idea what that means. I had to give up Asia session. I just never could get consistent wins. That's awesome. You know, if you find a session now, there are some people who trade the New York session, some people trade the Asian session at the same time. And if you're finding your profitability in the Asian session is not where it needs to be, and you have profitability in NY session, you just need to stop Asian session. Could you give us a rundown of your rule of thumb? My rule of thumb is to have enough range for your trade to run in. If you look at right over here, the range I was looking at was from 138.800 to 139, which is in a 20 pip range. And the other rule of thumb was that to wait for price to break the high so that my stop is, you know, like a reasonable stop, like around 10, 12 pips. So I executed over here, stop was down over here, took profits at like 10 pips and had a runner went to 139, price came down and stopped it out, and that was about it. So yeah, I guess it was a pretty decent Monday here. I mean, if you overtraded on a Monday, then probably you had some problems, you know. You have some issues to deal with if you overtraded on Monday, because I don't think anyone should be overtrading on Monday and Fridays, you know. What do you think about joining the military to fight goats in Afghanistan? Is possible? Yeah, it's pretty possible. In Cambodia, they fight cows, you know, they blow up cows with b- bazookas and rocket launchers. So, you know, fighting goats could be okay. Something important, I think, is that the move happened right at the end of the hour. I've seen that happens a lot. Yes, yes, I've seen that happen a lot too, which is why I started to look at how could I have entered, how could I have entered a impulse entry. So that's where this whole idea about impulse entries came into being. That, you know, sometimes price would just continue moving up without a retest, and that would be the trade, and you would miss the trade. And then I started to see that, okay, how can I enter those trades? Would you consider 138.680 as support? 138.680 as support. 680. Yes. I would also go to length to say that this is also a support right over here. This is a support area here. So if I'm going to be looking for sells, I'm going to be looking for sells below this area here, 138.400. If you hadn't taken no trades today, what would you be looking for sells? I would not be looking for sells, because it doesn't make any sense. If I didn't take any trade today, which means I came to the charts at 8:45 a.m., which if I came to the charts after 8 a.m., I wouldn't be even be looking at charts, because my time starts at 6:30 and it goes towards 9 a.m. That's it. So I took buys, so it's not even a question of what if, you know, because that what if didn't really happen. The reality is much different than your what if. Institutional candle or smart money concepts seems to be being bandied around at the moment. I don't know, Grant. I don't know institutional candle or smart money concepts is branded around at all in this stream. I don't understand those ideas. And the thing is, we don't know where institutions trade. You know, like you can get an idea, someone can say, okay, you know what, these are institutions right here, these are institutions over here. I mean, no one has seen institutions in this chart. So whoever has those ideas about institutional trading or smart money here, smart money there, man, I don't know. We've been trading here for like 2 years live here on the streams, and there hasn't even been one single concept of smart money or institutions or whatever fairies are out there.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, talking about those ideas is very difficult to talk about, because the simple reason is, and if anyone brings up the smart money concept, Forex is a decentralized market. Every institution is doing something different based on their own risk parameters, based on their own goals, based on what their objectives are. We can't apply the same ideas from the equity market that we're going to apply into the FX market. It doesn't work. The equities markets are more regulated. There's, you know, you can see orders, you can see volume, you can see all that information. With the I guess I would say the FX market, there truly isn't that kind of information that's around that would be concrete enough or valid enough to build a hypothesis off of. A lot of people try to, but it's not consistent enough to give you the information that you need. So really keep that in mind when people are talking about those concepts. Is they may work in the short term based on a vacuum approach. So, you know, if you have a major resistance or a major support, you know, people right away talk about, you know, that there's smart money there, or that's where the institutions are. But in the long term, if you constantly try and look at that idea, it's not going to steer you in the right direction. Because a perfect example was a lot of people with Euro USD. We're selling the euro at 1.14. If you look right now, where is the euro? At 1.18. And everybody kept talking about, well, there's a major zone at 1.14, there's a major zone at 1.15, it's got to reject, it's going to go down. That's that's the heavy resistance area, that's the higher time frame movement, but it didn't. So when I hear about these concepts, when I look at the charts, I rather go with what I see on the charts and leverage that information than try and say, well, because it rejected here and this is a major level, it has to reject. That's the number one rule in life, is just because it's a major level doesn't mean it has to reject. If it does reject, that gives you a basis for where we can go next, but it doesn't have to do anything. The market doesn't have to do what you think it's supposed to do. It just does what it does. You mark up your support, you mark up your resistance to guide your eyes to say, hey, at this point in the charts, there could be something that happens here that I have to be aware of. It doesn't mean a reversal. It doesn't mean that support's going to hold. It doesn't mean resistance is going to hold. It doesn't mean any of that. What it means is you should just be checking the charts around that price level to see what is happening at price, to then determine whether I continue or I stop my idea. That's what you're doing when you draw lines on your chart, when you draw zones on your chart. They're just there to guide your eyes. It's like a stoplight, just make you think for a second. Hey, what is happening over here and how do I adjust to what's currently happening? It does not mean that you change direction, you change bias, that this is going to have to happen. It just means at that point, be aware. Something can happen with price. We don't know what, but there could be an instance where price doesn't do something you like. So you should just be aware of that so you're not caught off guard. That's all you really need to understand with when you're drawing a zone or you're drawing price level, right? As an example, Raja draws his price level. He draws a little bit of a gray box. He draws his gray box here. People are saying, well, why don't you draw it over here? It doesn't matter. It's all in this area here. We should be aware of all in this area here. So whether it comes up to over here, comes up over to here or over here, we're all relatively in that area. You should just be aware. That's it. That's all you're doing. There's no exact science. You could put your line there, you can put your line there, you can put your line here. It doesn't matter. The fact is, when you have a gray area here or a gray area here, it's something to be aware of. You're saying to yourself, hey, I have to watch as we come up to price in that area. Over here, I don't have to watch so much. But over here, this is what I'm going to watch. Over here is what I'm going to watch. That's all. That's all you're doing, and that's the easiest way for you to trade, because all you're trying to do is you're trying to give your eyes an alert to say, hey, pay attention to this area. Something can happen. It's not to call a reversal. It's not to call a top, not to call a bottom. It's just to let you know, hey, be aware. Something can happen here. If you're in a trade, you might want to secure positions. It's sort of like when you're on a plane and the pilot starts to see on his radar that turbulence is coming. He tells you to put on a seatbelt. It doesn't mean that turbulence is going to be rough. Maybe it could be. He doesn't know. He just tells you to put a seatbelt on because it's a caution. And you know what? You go through it and people are like, why do I have to put my seatbelt on? There was no turbulence. This guy's a joker. No, he didn't know that there wasn't going to be. He's just been told in previous instances when planes have flown through that part of the map that there was turbulence. So he just cautions you. That's all it is. So that's what your chart is, turbulence. You got a little bit there. You don't know if it's going to be big turbulence or small turbulence or no turbulence, but it's a caution. Put yourself out there. Make sure you're safe. That's it.
Wow, I just discovered new technology here today. So I got this remote, and this remote can control the camera on my phone. I'm sure people already have that with selfie sticks, but it's new
That's
for me.
our selfie stick, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it. I got it right here.
Oh.
Got my selfie stick. I'm gonna be the tourist in London when I go there with a selfie stick. He's like, hey. then some mates are gonna probably steal my phone, because you've seen those videos where people have the selfie stick all the way out there trying to take pictures. Someone just takes it. See ya. Wow, looks like the Euro JPY also played out really nice over here. We had some pretty good calls. We had gold buy calls, GJ buys, GU buys, EJ buys. Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of slangs. I know a lot of England slangs. Giza. Giza is a
What?
slang. Yeah, Giza.
Isa.
Giza.
Isa.
Can you explain the significance of the 4-hour candle close? It sometimes retraces back when it's about to close. Thoughts on this? Yes. So basically when a 4-hour candle closes, which is closing in 5 minutes, what you can see on the 4-hour is breaking above this area, closing back in the range, right? The reason why it's retracing is because it's creating a wick. That's how wicks are formed. Wicks are formed as candles retrace and as the small time frame candles go bearish. That's where wicks are formed. And if you expect the next 4-hour candle to continue moving up, if you look at the smaller time frame, then you would want a support to be created on the small time frame and the next candle to continue, like maybe make like a lower wick and then continue moving up. That's what you would want to see. This might be crazy, but if the gold 1-hour candle closes bullish, price could go back up to that point. No, I think it rejected this 1953 area pretty hard. Giza, lyrical teaser, microphone pleaser, crowd pleaser, sweating like a beaver. I would like to know, how does one get better in creating ideas around entries? I'm failing in that section. How to, well, first you need to plan the entries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain my entry here on GPJPY, which I took. And then we're going to call it a day over here. So basically when we had, okay, how do you make these candles go back? From here? Candle go back? No. How do you, oh, let me do this. Oh yeah, perfect.
Draw your line.
Yeah, perfect. So I was looking for buys. You know, my whole bias was buys. My whole bias was like, okay, I'm going to take sells if we break below 138.400. I wasn't going to take a sell over here, and the only reason was because if I took a sell, there's a candle that rejected here, so there may be some sort of a probability price may reject here. If we continue down, there was a rejection over here, so I was like, okay, maybe we're going to reject it over here too. So there's a bit of a problem for sells in my eyes, you know. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to wait for buys. If the buys don't happen, then probably there's going to be no trade for me. So then I was like, okay, you know, let's just wait. So this was the resist. So if I go on the 1 hour, this was the resistance here. If I go on the 30 minutes, since this candle closed bearish, this was the resistance formed on the 30 minute. Not over here, because this is the most recent area here, right? And then we move on to the next candle. Oh, I broke it. All right, let's go back. Press play, press pause, okay, press play, press pause, press play, press pause. Man, this thing doesn't work. Okay, and then we had the 30-minute candle closing bullish like this. You know, when this 30-minute candle closed bullish, I looked at this, I'm like, okay, well, this candle closed above the previous resistance right over here. So I'm not going to consider this thing as a resistance, because at this time we were moving into New York Open, right? So as we move into New York Open, that's when there's a lot of volume in the market. And when there's volume in the market, that's when you expect price to break zone. So Cassie, I think you should go through the section of market sessions on market fluidity It's been discussed in more detail. So once this candle closed bullish, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take a buy, but I'm not going to take a buy over here, because if I took a buy here, my stop, which would be below the 30-minute candle, would be like 18 pips. So I wasn't going to risk 18 pips, because for me to have an 18 pip stop, this means I need to lower down my lot size, and then I need to look at, for price to come up towards 139. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to wait for price to retrace, create like a lower wick, and I'm going to enter once we break the high over here and keep the stops below the wick on the 30-minute candle. So if we press play over here and let it, oh, wow, okay, yeah, perfect. So once this candle came down and it started to break the high of the previous candle, that's where I took the entry. My stop was below the candle low right over here. And the reason why was because once we broke the high, then there's no reason for this candle to continue down to break its own low when it's broken the high. Because once you have an uptrend, uptrends are when price makes higher highs and higher lows, right? So candles are also making a higher low, and it's potentially making a higher high. So that was basically the reason for my entries and the trade here I took on buys on GJ. If there's no retest on a lower wick, then it is what it is, then I basically would have missed the trade. If this candle had no wick at the bottom, if the candle just moved bullish, then I would have missed the trade basically. So I think one important thing is for people to really be comfortable in missing out on trades. A lot of people, they have good analysis, but they miss out on trades because they don't get their confirmations and stuff like that. So just be okay with that. Just be okay with, okay, you know what, I missed the trade. That's totally fine. Next time I'm going to get it. Ooh, someone said, I thought Mac was ripped. He's a chubby lad. Mr. Optimistic. You got to be optimistic about that, man. Mac doesn't have his headphones on, so he doesn't know what we're talking about. That's probably a good thing. All right, everybody, I'm going to head off. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jehoy.
Adios, amigos.
Adios. Take care, brother. Be good.